The incinerated BMW. What did I get myself into? Motor is almost out in the incinerated Beamer. Now we're gonna see something that I've been dying to see since we got these cars, right? So I got my handy degreaser on a bottle. We have the pressure washer next to the car, and I really want to see if this car shines or not. So let's get to it. I don't want to make this too boring, or if it's gonna make its own video, but you know, how to clean up a car that looks like poop and see if they actually comes back to life. Obviously this is just going to be with a pressure wash. If we really wanted to see how much we can revive this car, we would easily just after we degreased it, we would buff the car. I need to buy another buffer, but we could do that. But hey, if this car does kind of come to life with just the degreaser and a pressure wash, maybe that's what we'll do next. We'll grab a buffer and we'll buff this car a little bit. Let's see how it goes. I'm actually super excited on how this is going to come out, because I just sprayed it with some degreaser and you can already see the streaks of it coming back alive, you know what I mean? So once we hit it with the pressure washer, I think there's hope for this thing yet.
Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la.
Guys, like, I knew it was gonna shine up, and yes, obviously it's gonna look better on camera, and I still gotta go over it a little bit more, but wow, like, it actually, okay, so obviously the floor of the car, so the paint is sun faded, obviously, and at the bottom of the side skirts, once I put the pressure washer to it, it was peeling the white. Obviously I saw some of the clear was getting peeled, so it is a rough white. But after I pressure washed it, you guys are gonna be surprised on the actual change. And this is just degreaser and then pressure wash. What's going on, guys? So today we're gonna skip all the boring stuff. So I already moved the cars. I didn't do no fast, any speed or any weird stuff editing, so we're gonna get right into it. Sad news is we're gonna start with just saying it. I don't think I'll be able to do this project like I thought I was going to, after doing more research. I don't think I'll be able to do a series of like spending no money with what I have if I can get this at least a coupe running, and this is why. So the beautiful coupe that we have here that I really want to restore and make a daily driver is a 1998 OBD2 car. Now the beautiful sedan that's not burnt down is a 92, which is a OBD1 car. So what this means is that ultimately you can convert OBD1 motor into OBD2. A lot of people have done it. You need a few sensors and then modifying some pigtails and harnesses, etc., to make it work. But because the coupe, which is OBD2, burnt down, a lot of the parts are not there. So what that means is exactly that. Like, I would need a lot of money or a little bit of money to make this work, which would defeat the series of building a cheap car, right? So now, what does that leave me, right? Because ultimately, like I keep saying, the Z's, that one that's catching everything, is my priority. That LS car is the only thing that I'm working. Even if my Blue Z blew up tomorrow, it would just get pulled to the corner, and I would just kind of forget about it for a little bit until this is done, right? When this is done, it's a different story because now I got more focus. Now, this car right here, the burn one, has been one of my favorite cars ever since BMWs grew on me, right? I think the E36 gives you the perfect styling between a modern car and a more older style car that's square body. That's personally why I think these cars are one of my favorite cars, because you have more of this, more of a box square body feel to them, but then you still have modernization with lines that when you put a body kit on this car, it just makes them look much better. So, with all that being said, I don't know. Ultimately, I think the plan is, number one, get this car stripped out, clean the bay, assess and make a list of what parts we need to get this car running, right? So as you see right here, the ECU seems to be okay. I mean, it was pretty protected with the wall, but everything else is basically junk. What it looks like, I got underneath the car, it does look like nothing got horribly destroyed besides the top half and all the plastic things, which I know it looks bad. I know it looks bad. Like, you look at it and I'm like, whoo. But like, you grab this right here, right? And then you grab, if it was a flathead, it'd be easier. But as you see, there you go. That was a good one. Yeah. What it seems like is everything is fine. Even the core support doesn't seem warped or anything. So honestly, I think the car is actually still in really good condition. I think the worst case scenario, I think the head is probably done. Best case scenario, the head is not destroyed and it's just all the plastic components, because BMW decided to use air intake, which that's what it seems like. It seems like the intake melted and it just fell on everything, right? It fell on the alternator. I think this is the power steering reservoir. It melted the hose, the cover. But then you look here and you pop this. I don't know. I know you guys can't see it, but it didn't penetrate. So personally, I think the motor is fine. So now that brings me to my options. For the time being, my plan is to get this car running. Oh, sorry. For the plan being is get this car stripped out, prepped, get wire brushed to rust, and basically get the parts I need, which is like a hood, maybe a windshield, and then slowly start gathering what I need. Because if the engine is fine, maybe I'll do an engine rebuild, look for a harness, buy a harness, and in theory, I can get this car running with just getting replacement parts. It's going to be a couple days of me stripping this car out when I have time and seeing how bad the damage is in this video, which will be continuing of multiple day video. And then I think the plan would be strip this car out, get it all ready for when I am ready to put the time and effort to this, because this is one of my cars that I really want to have. Not a drift car, just a nice, maybe it'll probably end up being drifted, let's be honest. And then the four-door that I was saying, I don't think it's going to become a parts car. I think maybe I will take the hood, maybe I will take the nose grill assembly. I probably leave the headlights. I'll probably massage the hood that came from that car, massage it enough so it looks okay, put it on this car, put the nose where the grill goes, and from that car put it on this car. Other than that, I'm not gonna take anything else off this car, I believe, as of right now, because with that car I want to run a M3 body kit anyway, so it makes no sense for me to take the bumper. The fenders are okay and I want to go over fenders, so it doesn't make sense for me to take the fenders off this car. So what I really want to do with this car is, supposedly it does run. Supposedly it does. It was missing a key. They got a key made, but they never programmed it. So ultimately, I'm going to call a couple key people, see if they can make me a key or program me a key. Or I'm going to figure out either one, order ECU, this is OBD1, that's already tuned and deletes the immobilizer. Or two, touch some wires together and get it running. Because this one, we can do a budget drift car, which will be E46, those arms, with an adapter plate on this car, welded diff, inline hydro, and then this can be the learning car. Obviously, again, I wouldn't want people just smashing this car up because it is an E36 that has parts. This car can be a nice learning car where I can just hand the people the keys if it does run. Now, if it doesn't run, I think the plan with this is eventually, when my LSZ is done, this car can be the budget V8 swapped car if I can't figure out the motor and tranny situation with the security. You know what I mean? Because at that point, maybe I'll get a Ford 302 carbureted or a Chevy small block, do a manual swap on this, and just keep it super reliable, run it off of 3 wires, where I can just, again, give the keys to people, have the people learn. I know that this car is not going anywhere. It's not going to become a parts car. I like 4-doors a lot. I actually like the 4-doors better, but the coupe is just in way better shape. So this one can be the tire slayer. The other one can be the I drift sometimes, as long as I don't go overboard and fall in love with that other chassis. So enough talking. I know I've talked a lot, and I'm definitely gonna enough talking, and let's just start getting into stripping that other car apart, because this car is, how bad is the E36 damage?
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak.
So just like we thought, the chassis is actually, you know, in really great condition. Again, you can tell this car was really taken care of. I mean, this is all surface rust because of, you know, the fire kind of burnt the paint, so it started rusting, but no holes or no penetration. So even looking back here, it looks like everything is pretty fine. I mean, all this is plastic intake that's melted. So for next video, we're gonna clean this engine bay and probably strip it and actually paint it. Again, no like fancy paint, just kind of strip it, clean it, pressure wash it, etc, etc. Take all this damaged parts off and go from there. As you can see, all the dampening and stuff just kind of over time. I mean, this is an old car, but I mean, the car was honestly really flawless. So that's, you know, the chassis, obviously, that's it's really good to know that the chassis is good. The engine, again, I'm gonna have to take it apart, but again, behind and everything, it looks pretty well. I mean, literally, it looks good, and I'm hoping that the engine didn't warp. That's my fear. So in the next video, we'll probably do engine bay prep, and then we'll tear down the motor and see what we find. I gotta find another engine stand in order to put this in the engine stand. I do have one, but the LS is going on that one. So I just want to kind of get a list and a rough estimate of what I'm gonna need for this car in order to get this car operational. I would like to just put the 328 back in there and run it as is, but hopefully it's savable. But if it's not, then these cars ain't cheap. They're not starting to be cheap anymore. So for me to find a replacement 328 might not be as you know, money saving as just swapping out the car, the motor for something else. But again, this is a car that's gonna take a bag seat to the LSZ. But I just wanted to strip it down, take care of the rust, clean it up, get a list going for what this car is going to need. That way, if I see a car that maybe it's crashing the rear and I can take the whole harness and everything that I need from the front, then that's gonna be great. If I can't find a car, then maybe when that's almost done to completion, maybe this car will go at a swap. But I just want to prep it. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. Obviously, this is probably, I don't know how even what direction this car is gonna go, but I'm, like I said, trying to do a better job of not bombarding everything in just one video and just kind of spacing out the videos. And if you guys are watching to learn something, ask any questions if you guys think, and I'll answer them if I can. And thank you for watching.